Hey beauties, it's Riri. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be diving into a whole lot of brand new products. Most of these are just new to me, y'all. So if you came here for the latest and greatest, I ain't got nothing but the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. Anyways, these are a bunch of products that are brand new to me. On my eyes is the brand new NOMAD Cosmetics New Zealand Stargazing palette. This was gifted to me, and you guys would have already seen this look and everything else, so you'll see it completed, obviously. So I just wanted to note that. First up, I'm going to go into the Ole Henriksen, the Banana Bright Face Primer. I've actually wanted to try this for a very, very long time, but it's a little bit pricier. I was actually able to snag this in the IPSY sale, so thank goodness. But I've been on the fence with this price-wise, and then because it was so expensive and I was unsure about it, I never got it. But I've tested out the eye cream and then also the little Banana Bright like eye stick, which is right here, and I used consistently. So because I liked the eye cream and the stick, I went ahead and was like, hey, let me go ahead and test this out. So I'm going to open this up, let's put this on, and then I like to let my primers sit for a second. So while it is sitting, I will talk about what it's actually supposed to do. I do like the component. It is in a squeezy tube, and it's just a yellow primer. It is quite thick. It's a lot thicker than I anticipated it being, but a yellow primer, if you are unsure, yellow helps to neutralize like redness and stuff like that, any type of like sourness, darkness as well. Oh, that smells, it smells like, I always say it's like citrusy scent, kind of smells like the old school like Flintstones Push Pops, and that is what this reminds me of. Wow, that glow is great. It does feel like I feel it. It does feel a little thicker, if that makes any sense, and I have black eyeshadow on my forehead. Hey, I'm so sorry, y'all, if y'all saw that. I'm gonna get a tiny bit more, so a little thicker than I anticipated, like the texture itself. Oh, but I love the glow on this. I actually feel like it's giving me a little bit of a blurring quality as well. And now, obviously, having rosacea, this is not going to take away your rosacea, Riri. You know what I'm saying? But it should give me a little something, and I do feel like it did kind of blur things out for me. I like the texture and the finish. I do feel it on my skin, though, I will say that. So we'll just kind of see how it sets down. And this says, inspired by the makeup artist must-have banana powder. The illuminizing makeup primer contains vitamin C, brightening pigments, and soft focus powders to instantly illuminate the entire complexion and blur the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Create a hydrated, radiant canvas for an Olay glow that lasts and lasts. I do feel like that is very true. And already it is dry. Wow, okay. I do see some blurring properties there, and I do like that glow. It's like it's a glow, but if you have oily skin, this is unlike, you know, like e.l.f. Halo Glow, how it kind of stays glowy and you feel it. Like you feel a little bit of like the moisture from this. And this, even though it felt a little bit heavier upon first application, it feels incredibly light now, and I don't feel it, but it dried all the way down. Like there's no wetness on the skin, if that makes sense. I think I'm gonna like this. Okay, look y'all, so far we're starting out with a bang. That doesn't mean anything to me though. Next up, I'll go into the concealer. I have already demoed this for myself one time, so I kind of have some thoughts already. This is the L'Oreal True Match, the Radiant Serum Concealer with 1.5% hyaluronic acid and caffeine. And I got the shade Light Medium W3. I'm gonna note, and now that I'm actually like looking at this, I'm scared, because when this came to me from Ulta, I ordered this in a primer. This was not sealed. Like it was already open, and it already kind of looked like somebody used it. And now that I'm looking in here, it does in fact look like somebody already used it. So that makes me sad, and I'm a little nervous. But it does have an iron-shaped doe foot, which I think is really, really nice. And you guys know I'm a less is more beauty, so I'm literally putting a dot here and here. I don't know why people use more than that. That's my own personal opinion. This has a very soft, light, almost serum-like texture to it. It offers, in my opinion, light to medium coverage. I do like the fact that it's set down well, and I do not feel like I had a large emphasis on my fine lines. Obviously, I'm almost 45. I do have fine lines, I have dry skin, I have texture. I do not feel like this is emphasizing that, so I will give it a plus on that. And it does offer a little bit of coverage, but it does also dry down. I like to just kind of go in and press it out with my finger, or I will go in with my little brush that I got in my glam bag. This is the Beauty for Real brush, and very lightly press it out. So for me, I like it thus far. Obviously, this is, just my second time using it, but I do feel like it offers enough coverage for me, and it does dry down. You can see a slight little bit of, I have textured wrinkles, but when I do this and kind of open my eye, it's not like stuck in that little area right there, if that makes any sense. So I'm still testing it out. I feel like the coverage could be better. My favorite concealer ever is the Tarte, the Ultra Creamy one. And I feel like it performs a little bit better than this, and I don't feel like it does dry me out. Now, this could also be mixing with that Ole Henriksen product, because when I used this the other day with my Milani, the Dewy set, it did not look quite this dry. So I feel like if you are dry like me, I would say to opt to go in with something that's a little bit more hydrating as far as your primer goes, because I do feel like this is a little bit drier than it was the other day. So still testing it out, not horrible, and based off of, this being my second time, it did wear well. There's a slight little bit of, accentuation to my fine lines and wrinkles, but it's not sticking in there and making it look worse than it already does. Also, Ulta, that just makes me sad. Anyways, next up, I'm going to go in with the Clinique Even Better Refresh Hydrating and Repairing Makeup. This is in the shade WN12. Hopefully that is the right shade. And I actually got this for free through Ulta. That's why I went ahead and made a little bit of a purchase, because it was like a Diamond member perk. Ooh, that's not my shade unless the color inside the box is not this color. Oh man, I'm a little nervous. Okay, well, this says it is allergy tested, 100% fragrance free, thank goodness. Full coverage. Oh no. See, I saw Even Better Refresh, Hydrating and Repairing. I assumed it would be a lighter coverage, so that's my bad. Weightless hydrating coverage perfects without setting into lines and wrinkles. Skin looks smoothed, plumped, refreshed, and more youthful. I am scared. And if you are new here, I have incredibly dry, textured skin. I have very sensitive and reactive skin. We'll see. And I don't opt typically for full coverage, and I don't usually use concealer. I just wanted to test that one out and to see if something was going to compare to my Tarte. Oh, that looks real dark and it looks orange. I'm a little nervous, y'all. Anyways, I like to start from the back of my hand. Oh, that's not the color. Oh man. I like to start from the back of my hand. I have a preference for a brush. I like to load up my brush and put the product into the brush evenly. And then kind of where I need coverage at, I start with stippling, pouncing motions first. I feel like this kind of pushes the product into the skin. I avoid my nasal labial folds at all cost, and I try to not get a lot of product around my nose as well. And actually the color is not too bad. I think in the summertime it will be fine. For right now, it's definitely not my shade. Then with whatever residual product I have on the brush, I will lightly hit the perimeter of my complexion. Surprisingly, the color is not as, bad when it goes on the skin. Definitely not my shade for right now, but it's okay. Look, it was a free product, y'all. And I've never used anything from Clinique, ever, I don't believe. So, yeah, I was unsure. Again, the least amount of product possible in this area here. And then because I already have concealer on, I am not going to take the foundation all the way up. We do not need concealer all the way up to the eye and foundation all the way up to the eye. I'm going to take the last little bit and just make sure everything is nice and blended out and even. And then of course we will get up close and personal as we always do. I I like it. I think I like it overall. I don't often go this full coverage, and I definitely feel like I could build this up if I wanted to. And I can kind of feel it on the skin just a little bit. We'll see if it dries down, but I'll get up close and show you guys the difference. You can see here, we have great skin. I have rosacea, broken capillaries, some old acne scarring, things like that. Yeah, I like it. I don't feel like normally right through here will look horrible. There is some emphasis on my pores. That is what it is. I'm human. I have skin. But everywhere else it looks really nice. Like normally in like these little wrinkles right here, you know, makeup kind of settles there. It's not doing that. Alright, yeah, a little bit off on the shade. Slightly more full coverage than I typically go for. Let me do this side off of camera, and then I go in and spray my complexion always, and I'll press everything out with a sponge, and then I'll BRB. Alright, so far so good. Yeah, a little thicker than I like, and I can still kind of feel it on the skin. Again, we'll see how it dries down, but I'm not mad at it, and I think I might really like this during the summertime. Is it super hydrating though? No, it's not. That's okay. Next up, I'm going to go into the Iconic London Tint and Texture Brow Perfecting Gel in the shade Chocolate Brown. I did get this on like a little Sephora sale thing, and I kind of quickly ran it through my brows one day with you guys, but I wanted to actually really give it a shot today. I love the packaging. It feels nice and heavy and weighted. And I did say in that video that I love the freaking wand here. I did bend it. I always bend my spoolies, but you can see it is teeny tiny. And hopefully you can see like the little teeny tiny fibers in there. So even though my brows are done, I do not have gel on them yet. And you can probably see that there's like a lot of makeup to my brows. So I figured this would be a really good time to try this out. Whoa. Alright, I like the color. I feel like a little bit more is coming off than I feel like should be coming off of a brow thing, but that's okay. Definitely giving me some hold. Alright, so far so good. Obviously, I, cannot attest to long wearability with it, but I do like the color. I like the fact that it has the little fibers in it as well. I feel like that gives great hold. Alright, it's nice. It's a brow gel. Next up, Debbie made me buy this, and this is the Melt Cream Blush Light. I have the shade Honey Thief. She raves about this all the time, and I've actually had this and the other Melt product in my cart on Sephora forever. But Melt is expensive, y'all. They're real pricey. But because I heard her speak so highly of these, when they went like 50% off, I was like, now's the time. So here's what it looks like. This is obviously my first time looking at it, testing it. Whoa! That is incredibly creamy and smooth. I did not think it was going to be quite that like liquidy, I guess. I am not wasting this. So I'm going to press this on my cheek. And I would normally do that too. Either go in with, just my fingers. Our fingers are great tools. But I like to personally go in with kind of a softer, like more fluffy type brush. But one that is firmly packed. And then I just do very gentle little motions. Oh, that is pretty. I feel like it's quite punchy. Like I know for sure I could build this up if I needed to, like for summertime. But it's blending out incredibly well. That texture, you guys, I don't think I've ever used a cream blush that was like that, like soft, and like creamy. It is, it's not thick or dense or heavy or anything like that at all. Oh, I love the color too. That's so pretty. I don't feel like it picked up anything from underneath. I hope that little bit of sheeniness that it has kind of stays there. I personally like that. I know some people do not. I'm going to go back in just because I want to get a little bit more. Yeah, you could really punch this up if you wanted to. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy I like this. We'll see how it wears, of course, but thank you, Debbie. Oh yeah. And that is a me color too. Oh, that is stunning. Yay! I'm so happy. That texture of that is lovely, you guys. Wow, okay. That so far and the primer I feel like are standouts. so far. And then before I go in with highlighter, I am going to set with the tiniest little bit of my Dominique powder. I love this stuff so much. If you do have dry textured skin, mature skin, but you're looking for a powder because you feel like sometimes you just need one, I highly recommend. I just go in with a tiny little bit on my Trigwell puff. And I don't want to lose the blush, but if this does not dry down all the way, like right now, I can still kind of feel it. Obviously, if you go to put bronzer and stuff like that on top of this, it's going to skip a little bit and it may not lay down on the skin properly. So because of that, I do like to go in, you guys could see like the tiniest little bit of powder. And I'm like barely touching my skin. But this powder is lovely. Oh, I love it so much. And I'm not a powder person at all. Like, I never use powder. So for me to find one that I'm literally like, I love this, I would repurchase this. It's great. I think I got it in a BoxyCharm or something like that. And then with whatever little residual powder is left, I'll just go through the rest of my complexion. Oh, that blush. That blush is great. I love that. Yay, I'm so happy. Next up is the Melt Cosmetics, the Stargazer Digital Dust Highlighter. And I did get the shade, I guess Stargazer is the shade. And I'm really excited about this too. This is something else that's been in my cart for a long time. It feels so weighty and so nice. Oh, that is so pretty. The texture of this almost reminds me of like the Amrezy highlighter. This one has a little bit more like neutrality to it. Oh my gosh, does that look lovely. I'm excited. I'm going to go in with kind of an open, like flimsy brush. I don't know how much to use, so I'm going to err on the side of caution, you guys. And let's see what this does. I'm going with a less is more approach first. And I kind of stay just the very tippity top part of my cheeks, and I do like to blend my highlighter into my eye look. Pretty. Quite subtle. I thought it was going to be a little bit more impactful than this. I'm not mad at that though. I really like that. I think too, for right now, it's probably a shade too dark for me. I don't really necessarily see like a cast, you know, like a shade casting. But I think for like right now, during like the winter months, I need something a little bit lighter than this. A little bit more kind of punchy, if you will. I don't see an emphasis on my texture, which is nice. Okay, that is pretty. I can get down with that. And I'm sure I could punch this up. I could literally just go in with my fingers and add a little bit more, and we can definitely punch it up a little bit. Alright y'all, look, so far, and I feel like even like after setting the face, even though that foundation was not radiant like I thought it was gonna be, it still looks really pretty, and I don't feel heavy, I don't feel dry or anything like that, so I'm having an enjoyable experience. I do quickly want to do a little bit of bronzer. That's just a me thing. This is not new. It's my Moira bronzer in the shade Sunkissed Honey. And of course, my Judy brush from the crayon case because, well, it's the best brush on the planet. Make sure everything's connecting so it doesn't look like I'm wearing a bronzer helmet. I actually think I'm really going to like this foundation during the summertime because it is a little bit more kind of like soft matte or like, you know, skin-like, if you will. So I think I'm going to enjoy it during the summertime. Okay, y'all. Look, the last thing that I have to try out is the Yves Saint Laurent mascara. This is the Lash Clash Mascara Extreme Volume. I'm going to curl my lashes really quickly. And then literally for lips, y'all, because this eye look is eye looking. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Because of that, I'm just going to go in with an oil. This is the Patrick Ta Lip Oil in the shade Headliner. I love the packaging. It smells delicious. I will note, you can probably see, let me get up close. There's like a clump on here. It picks up a ton. I always have to wipe this off a little bit, a lot of it, because that little well right there holds a ton of product. But I'm going to put this on. Incredibly comfortable, beautiful high shine. I love it. And it has like a little bit of a like a little bit of a minty cooling type of sensation to it. So let me curl my lashes. I'm gonna use my REFERRAL eyelash curler. Thank you again to Debbie for that recommendation, honey, because I love it. And then let's come test this and we'll wrap things up. Alright, and here is our finished look. I have to say, overall, this was a really, really good experience. I'm definitely going to have to kind of keep testing out the L'Oreal. I feel like if you're looking for something super high coverage, this is definitely not it, but it doesn't claim to be. It is Radiant Serum Concealer. I feel like it gives enough coverage without giving an added emphasis on my fine lines and wrinkles, and it doesn't kind of stick in. Hopefully y'all know what the heck I'm trying to say. Like when you pull your eye like this, you'll see a bunch of like product built up. That it's not doing that. So I can say that. It did last a long time on my skin as well. I still feel like the Tarte Ultra Creamy is my favorite, but I like it. I like it and it's okay. The foundation, definitely have to keep testing it. I like it more than I initially did as it was going on. It did feel a little bit heavy. I don't feel that now on my skin. And I think once this is my actual shade, when we get into warmer months, I can definitely come back and kind of give you guys some thoughts on that. The Melt blush and the highlighter I love, especially the blush. I feel like the highlighter, as I get a little bit more tan and I test it kind of at that time, I don't think that the color is going to throw me off any. Not that it looks bad at all. I think it, I mean, it still looks beautiful, but the blush is a standout. I really love the texture of both of these, the packaging, the components, and everything. Y'all, this blush is lovely. That texture of this, I've never felt a cream blush that was quite like that slippy. Like when I went to put my fingers in it, I was like, oh shit, like I thought I was gonna mess it up. You know what I'm saying? These are great. The mascara, I think I also really, really like. It is quite intensely black. It's a slightly drier kind of whipped type texture, or like, you know, velvety type texture that I really love. And I do feel like I have some, you know, some volume and some lift, so we'll see how that holds up. Yeah, I feel like I like everything. I really liked this as well. It was a little weird because it went on a little bit more glowy and then dried down just a little bit. But if you do have oily skin, I feel like you're really, really gonna love this if you've never tried it. The scent and everything was really lovely on it. So we'll kind of see how everything combines and wears together throughout the day. And in the brow products, I think I really, really love this as well. It gives me a hold, but it's not stiff and crunchy and like hard feeling. So I'm gonna say overall, this was a win. I really liked most of the things that I tried today. Let me know if you've tested any of these products. What are some of your favorite products? That's it, beauties. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you to my beautiful channel members. I love you. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.